Hi, CP.
Hi, Mummy Bear.
We have another chit-chat.
We sure do. Episode 49.
Episode 49 with the wonderful Liz Zorab, who was on Gardener's
Yeah.
World last year. She had that amazing hillside garden. It was mostly veg garden, wasn't it?
It was, but she did want to put some flowers in there as well.
Had some ornamentals in as well.
Yeah.
And she was battling altitude and slopes and north facing
all the battles
to create the most incredible space.
Yeah.
Very inspiring. So she joined us for a chit chat, and it was really fantastic chatting to her. We heard a lot about her space and a lot about her dream garden, which does involve a lot of what she currently has already.
And of course, we hear a lot about her background as well, how she came into doing the gardening, what made her realise gardening is the way forward, this is what I want to do. And also hearing about being as kind of self-sustainable as possible with the food that she's growing, so really going for it with making batch cooking and meals.
Yeah. Well, I think one of the overriding takeaways for us was that either we need to up our cooking and freezing game, or we need to ensure we can get a seat at Liz's table on a regular basis.
Yes, I think so.
It sounds amazing.
It does. And also, top tip is have one of those big chest freezers, and you can put all your bags in there.
I thought when we do get an invite to her table, if you could distract her, I'll grab that deep freeze and put it under my coat, and we'll just run.
You're planning on... You're just going to put it on.
But I want it with all the contents. But another message I got from this was that I'm now starting to regret that we replaced all our wood chip in our veg garden with gravel.
Yes.
And I did tell you the other day that on account of Liz, we are going to have another garden project, which is going to be to scoop up all the gravel, put it on the gravelly terraces, and lay down some wood chip again, because I've seen the error of our ways, and we need to re-wood chip, but you'll find out more about that in this episode.
Exactly.
Now, something that came up after we'd finished recording was Liz...
This happens a lot.
Yeah, we were just having our usual post-podcast debrief, and then Liz suddenly said, "Oh, wait, I have won a prize," and ran off and came back holding up her prize for an RHS silver medal, which she won back in 2002.
Yeah.
And that was part of the... I hope I'm saying this right, Ryder Community Sculpture Garden Project.
Yeah.
And it was apparently back when Gardeners World Live was still an RHS show, and they won a silver medal. Yeah. If anyone remembers it, it had copper sculptures in it, and really especially this beautiful copper dragon. And you can actually still see that online. So I'll see if I can get a link for it and put it on the gardens page of our website against Liz's name, so you can have a look at that. In terms of noises, I think we did pretty well. Liz has a good setup. She's a bit of a seasoned pro with old podcasting sitch.
Yeah.
So that was all good.
Had all the gear.
Had all the gear and every idea.
And all the ideas.
So we will be putting links to Liz and recommendations that she made on our website. Yes. That is notjustagarden.co.uk. And if you go to the gardens page, you'll see the recommendations there for all our guests. And Liz will be joining everybody on the Rose Gallery on the Chit-Chats page.
Of course, all the little heads.
All the little heads. So, Sweet Pea, what's the format?
So the format is garden boundary, shed or greenhouse, 5 ornamentals, 5 edibles, 1 statement tree, pond or pool plus 1 plant, and finally favourite seating area, drink, and 1 plant to have next to you.
And if you want to get in touch, you've got any questions for our guests or questions for us or comments, feedback, then please do contact us. There's a contacts page on our website, notjustagarden.co.uk, and then our email is notjustagarden@outlook.com. So without further ado, shall we have a look at this episode, Sweet Pea?
Absolutely, let's go for it.
This is episode 49, a good old chit-chat with Liz Zorab.
Off we go!
Welcome, Liz, to a good old chit-chat.
Thank you for inviting me. I'm excited to be here.
Yeah. Well, thank you. We just assumed you'd be so incredibly busy because of your incredible plot of land that you have that we first saw on Gardeners World last year. I think it was on episode 20 last year, and our eyes lit up when we saw... You explained you had 4.5 acres, an acre of which was productive. You're on a north-facing hill, 200 metres above sea level, I think.
Well, actually, it's heading towards 300. I remember seeing that and thinking, oh no, it's actually much more. It's more challenging. Than
so do you get your own little microclimate up there, do you?
Yeah. Absolutely. And we're kind of in the middle of a wind farm. which tells you it's also quite windy.
Yes. I've heard this. We spoke to Adam Jones, who's in Carmarthenshire.
Okay, so yeah, he's actually not very far away from me, but he's downhill by quite a long way.
So you get more of the wind up there.
Mm.
So what other challenges are you dealing with at 300 metres above sea level?
Well, there's a lot of water.
Right.
there's an awful lot of water. So at one point I lived in mid Wales in what is considered to be the second wettest place in Wales. Mm-hmm. But honestly, I think this is probably just as wet, if not wetter.
Right.
So I think probably when they did those measurements, maybe they didn't stand in our garden.
They didn't come around your way.
I like that. They didn't put their welly boots on and step in your garden.
So it's wet, it's windy, it's exposed. The flip side of that is it's moist. It's the fungal issues blow through very quickly. Mm-hmm. And it's not shady. So, I mean, for all the difficulties, they are all also bonuses.
Yeah. And what sort of incline is your hill on?
Yeah.
Steep? I don't know.
Steep?
I can't.
45 degrees?
No, so it's not it's not as bad as 45 degrees.
Right, so less than 45.
And some bits of it are steeper than others.
Yeah.
All I can say is by the time I've actually walked up to the vegetable garden, my
breath.
legs go, yeah, that's enough.
Good for the glutes, Liz. That's what we keep reassuring ourselves as we walk up our very steep hill.
Yeah,
it was hard to really tell an incline on the show. To me, it looked relatively flat.
Yeah, so I have very carefully created the garden in a place where the incline comes down and then it levels a little bit.
Right.
Plus, I've created all my raised beds to level the soil out.
Okay.
Right.
So that on one side of the raised beds, they're 4 inches deep, and on the other side of the bed, they're between 8 and 16 inches deep.
Oh, I see.
Depending on how steep that bit of the ground is.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. A bit like what we've done where we've got one plank on one side and 2 planks on the other. So
exactly that. Yeah.
Ours is steps.
Really,
proper
steps.
Our beds steps down the hill. And I noticed that there was quite a bit of space between all your beds.
Yes.
Long paths.
So, this is my second garden that I've built like this. And in my previous home, I laid the beds out with quite a lot of space between them because when I started creating them, I'd been poorly. My thyroid had broken.
Oh no.
And I wasn't absorbing vitamins and minerals the way I should. And I ended up bedbound for about 4 months. I literally was just sleeping all the time. I couldn't really walk anywhere.
Liz. Was that in 2015?
Yeah.
That was when you were
So when I set up that garden, I did it bearing in mind that I might end up in a wheelchair.
Right.
Because we just didn't know what was going on. Yeah. So I wanted the width of the paths to be wheelchair accessible and to give space to be able to turn to get around in the beds.
Of course.
And do you know what? I actually just really like having those wide paths. They serve multiple things. They kind of allow better airflow, which in a very damp area is a good idea.
Of course. Yeah.
But most of all, what they do is they allow me to dump stuff. Mm-hmm. So I'm a great dumper, I'll pick something out of the soil, like a young plant or something. I'll pot it up, and the intention is to put it somewhere sensible. So what I do is actually put it on the edge of the path, knowing that I'm going to walk past it, and obviously I'll do something about it when I walk past it. 5 years ago, or the answer, they get put there, and they manage just to become part of the furniture or part of the garden, and I forget about them, and the roots grow out of the bottom and into the wood chips, and at that point, if they're well established, what's the point of moving?
Exactly.
Might as well keep it there.
So your wood chip paths, I thought I remembered it being very green. Is that a new addition, the wood chip?
The garden, as it were, is right next to an orchard or field. It's next to the grass. So there's grass each side of it, and then the actual pathways
they're all wood chip.
Are covered in wood chip. Yes.
Right.
Nice.
Yeah, actually, the green was probably weeds.
Oh, just all the stuff you dumped. Yeah. Okay, it's making sense now. So you said this is the second garden that you've created, and we heard on your segment on Gardener's World about you being ill in 2015. So it's interesting to hear that was your thyroid. First of all, how are you now?
Well, my thyroid is still doing its thing, but I'm on medication and it goes up and down. But, I run around the garden.
Yeah.
Run is a bit of a stretch of the imagination. I can walk briskly around the garden.
That's all that's needed.
Yep, that does very well.
No, so I can do everything I need to do.
Yeah.
I do get very tired, is the answer. But
because of the thyroid issue.
Well, who knows?
Is
it because I'm old? Is it because I've put on a bit of weight? Is it because life? Who
Life.
knows?
Yeah,
but,
life is tiring.
It's fine.
So the first garden that you did, where was that? Was that?
So that was in Monmouthshire.
Right. Oh, beautiful.
So we were actually sort of right in between the two Severn bridges. And we looked out across the River Severn towards Bristol, and it was stunning.
Amazing. Yeah.
However, if you're in between two Severn bridges, it actually means you're in between two motorways.
Oh no!
And it was really noisy. And I had bought increasingly better microphones to try and create videos with. And
trying to get the background noise.
And then they took the tolls away from the bridges, and lots of new building happened. So there was an increased amount of traffic, and it just got noisier and noisier.
Yeah.
And then when the pandemic happened in 2020 and the traffic all stopped, it was just like bliss. It was so lovely. But as soon as the traffic started again, I kind of went, I don't know I can do this anymore.
Yeah.
And I want more space, and I want, a different house. And we just kind of went, yeah, okay, let's do it.
Yeah. So you made the move. So the garden is right by the house? It's all in one area?
It's all it's not right next to the house. It's about 100 metres away.
Right. Okay.
Because when the back garden, which is right by the house, was about chest high with weeds, pernicious weeds when we moved in. Ooh. And then I created a garden up the next bit that was kind of reasonably open.
Yeah.
And that turned out to have almost no topsoil. It was just like...
Oh, no.
It was a lot of slate.
Yeah.
And a lot of rubble and things.
Gravel garden.
And this tiny, tiny bit of topsoil. And, that didn't really work. And, worst of all, it was absolutely full of horseflies.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Oh, no.
And we
Sweetie has a bit of a battle with horseflies.
Oh, I have such a battle. They seem to love me
too. And so Mr. Joe, my husband, he named it Horsefly Alley.
Oh, no.
And so we were putting the first plant into what is now the food forest. And we dug down and went, oh, look how deep the soil is here, with no stones and no great boulders of slate and very few horseflies. So very quickly, sort of after the first 3 months, I went, right, okay, I'm moving the veg garden uphill a bit, which made it further away, but the soil is better. There are fewer. I think there's fewer horseflies all round, but actually they weren't. It wasn't in Horsefly Alley.
So what have you done with Horsefly Alley now?
Yeah.
Well, almost nothing. It has
so it's
grass
just stayed
on
the
it.
Same. Yeah.
So it has grass. It's a grassy area. We had ideas that we would maybe have pigs.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
But that requires me to do some really serious fencing to stop pigs getting out. And I don't have the cash to do the serious fencing.
No.
It's about 1/4 of an acre, and the whole thing would need to be refenced.
Right.
Ooh, yeah.
And that's quite costly. So
that is very costly.
At the moment, it's growing very lush grass and some excellent dock leaves.
Great.
Oh, well, that's
always
good.
Useful.
Well, yes, exactly.
Well, they are. No.
Ahoy.
I use dock leaves as an alternative to comfrey.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
so they've got really long roots. They get all nutrients from very low down in the ground, bring them up. So add those to your compost heap, and hurrah, you've added lots of micronutrients in. So I do actually use them as a crop.
Yeah,
very true.
Okay,
yeah.
So you've got your 1 acre plot. Have you extended that any further, or are you keeping it within the 1 acre?
I'm kind of keeping it within the 1 acre at the moment because we have a lot of wildlife here, including a vast number of rabbits. So I've had to rabbit-proof. Every area I want to use has to have rabbit fencing put in it.
Wow.
So I've rabbit-proofed an acre. And that is honestly as much as my brain or my body or my pocket wants to do.
Yeah. Brain, body and budget.
I get brain, body and budget.
And so...
Rubies.
Yeah. And so, that's the area we've got.
Keep it where it is.
That is a huge amount of space.
Yeah.
To grow in.
Oh, for sure. And the other 3.5 acres is just left to its own devices?
We have sheep.
Oh, great.
So we've got sheep managing the ground.
Fantastic.
And I started creating, when we first moved here, I started creating a cut flower field. Mm-hmm. So that was about 3/4 of an acre that was going to have cut flowers on it. And after about a year and a half, I went, you know what? I need to concentrate on one area first and let this 1 acre get properly established and then move on. And then I went, that's actually more work than I want to do. So so I'm staying with that 1 acre because it's a huge space. It's like super productive and it's really pretty. So,
well, it looks so stunning. And you did talk about wanting to keep the flowers in with the edibles and the importance of that. Yeah. And it looked really productive last year. Have you got it to the level you wanted at? I know you also mentioned that it's continuously evolving, and
it is continuously evolving, and my taste in what I want to grow, it changes all the time.
Well, that's great, though.
Yeah. And if I ever create a garden that is perfect, I know I'm done.
Yeah, okay.
That's it.
So we don't want that to happen.
So I don't want that to happen anyway. And I kind of think there's always room to learn. Yeah. There's always room to experience new things. I mean, I've learned so much since I've been here, and I've experienced so many different things with different wildlife here. Yeah. Actually, I just never want to stop learning. Every day's a school day, and hurrah!
It's so important as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
Poirot would say, keep the little grey cells.
Yeah, absolutely. If anyone, when I was at school, if anyone had told me I'd be going, hooray, every day's a school day, I would have just laughed in their faces. I mean,
yeah, I'm on completely the same page. I really agree with you. I think it's so important that we do, and just makes life more fruitful, doesn't it?
Yes,
absolutely.
So are you fully self-sufficient? So do you go to the supermarket at all?
Yes, absolutely. We go to the supermarket. No, we're not self-sufficient, but we are self-efficient, which is the word we like to use, where we grow lots of our own things. I create lots of things from what we grow.
Yeah.
So my husband would probably correct me, but I would say probably in the last 10 years, we have bought maybe 5 bottles of wine at the supermarket.
Because you make your rhubarb wine.
Yes.
Well, I make, if it grows and is edible, I'll make wine out of it.
Oh, I'd want to talk more about that, Liz.
Yeah.
So everything from, so the only thing I haven't made wine from is grapes.
Right.
Really?
Yeah.
But why do that? That's been done before, I think. So.
Yeah, I think that's been done before.
But yeah, boring, to be honest.
So everything from forage things like blackberries and plums. There's rhubarb, which makes a really nice white wine. Well, pinky white, but white. And then beetroot, which makes an absolutely incredible wine. Not wonderful for drinking. So I don't drink alcohol anymore, but my husband does. But I put it in cooking.
Oh, okay.
Cooking wine. Yes. Okay.
So I am informed. Beetroot wine tastes too earthy for his taste, but is probably the best wine for putting in anything beefy.
Add some
body. I can imagine that would taste really good. I can imagine that as well.
Yes.
But it's interesting when I ask you about being self-sufficient, you immediately tell me about your alcohol budget, but then in the same breath say you don't drink alcohol.
Yeah.
What's the...
Because I liked it. So I cook everything from scratch.
Right.
So we don't buy ready-made meals. Now we did in the past, so I'm not kind of going near at them. They're brilliant. They have a place.
Yeah.
And we use them when we were both working full-time. That's what we used a lot of. But I now have the time and the means and the food from the garden to be able to cook from scratch.
Wonderful.
And so I want every meal to be, it's not going to be restaurant quality because, like beans on toast are not necessarily restaurant. Well, probably could be. But
it could be. You can make them fancy.
You should make them
fancy. But I want every meal for us to go, wow.
Oh.
So even if I'm then using some bought-in products, a chunk of stuff is going to come from the freezer, from the garden, from the pantry, from the larder, from the stores.
Incredible.
I batch cook, so I'm not cooking all the time. So if I cook, part of this is having had the children at home. I'm really not very good at only cooking 2 portions.
Yeah.
So, I would cook a meal. There'd be 4 of us at home. I'd cook a meal and I'd do enough for 2 days. So now you've got 8 portions. I still cook in the same way, but there's only 2 of us.
Right.
Add to that, when I first left school, I went to catering college and so learnt to cook in big portions.
Quantities.
My preference is to cook at about 20 portions.
Right.
Which then means I just, I can then just freeze them.
So it means you're surviving the apocalypse then?
Yeah,
it is. The apocalypse. But in the winter, when I really don't feel like cooking, we can just go to the freezer.
Very
That sounds absolutely bliss. It truly does. So you've got 2 children, adult children?
Oh, very adult, yes, and grandchildren.
And the grandkids, so extremely adult children. Are they involved at all with the gardening element or their own gardening, or is that just your thing?
So my son, no. My daughter is just dipping her toes into the garden. She's just moved to a 1 acre site.
Wow.
Oh
no.
Nice.
How blissful.
Fun.
Do you give her advice or do you stay out of it?
Do you know what I say to her? I've written 2 books and I've got a YouTube channel. Off you go, love.
That's such a good point.
That's real mother-daughter bonding, isn't it? You can catch me on YouTube. If you need me, I'm on YouTube.
Cash production.
I'm going to do that with you, Sweet Pea.
So her and I speak on the phone around average 5 times a day.
Yes, I hear you.
Nice.
So Sweet Pea's just moved out of home and it's a very similar situation.
We talk a huge amount.
So my daughter left home 20-something years ago, 20 years ago now. But we still, some days I don't hear from her at all. And the next day it's like, are you all right?
Yeah.
And sometimes we'll just ring up and say, well, it'd be like 3 sentences, something we saw on the television. It's like, did you see?
Oh, lovely.
And we'll do that. Other times she'll ring and I'll just put my phone in the kitchen and she'll do housework and I'll be cooking.
Yep.
And we kind of say the odd word to each other, but it's like there's somebody else in the room.
Oh, that's so lovely. Yeah. That really is lovely. And is she the one with children or both your children?
Yes, so she's got.
So you get to see the grandkids as well.
So I speak to them on the phone and we mess each other, but she lives in Exeter or near Exeter. So she's quite a way away.
Yeah.
So we do lots of video calls, voice calls, text messaging.
Yeah.
And if I go and stay with her, very often we don't speak to each other.
Yeah.
We'll just sit in the same room. So we probably speak more when we're not actually in the same room.
That's completely relatable. That's like us, Sweet Pea. Now, when you come back, we will sit in the same room and we are just happy to be in each other's company, but we don't have anything to say. We said it all on the multiple video calls the week before.
Yes.
And the podcast as well.
That sounds very healthy, and thank God for video FaceTiming and all these apps where you can see each other. It's so much nicer.
Absolutely amazing.
So you say about how you're learning all the time now. Do you have any horticultural background, qualifications, education? What's your background in that area?
My dad showed me what a snapdragon was when I was about 3, and that was it. It's like, off you go. Right,
so you have always been into it. It's not something that's
always been into it.
Right.
So he showed me what a snapdragon was, Antirrhinum.
Yeah.
And if you squeeze the side, they open. You can't see on a podcast, but I'm opening my fingers. I'm doing an impression with my hands.
A sock puppet on her hand.
Like a sock puppet, but yeah. So my dad showed me how to do that. So I went round the corner and opened, in inverted commas, all the flowers round the corner, which were fuchsia flowers.
No.
So every single flower in bud got popped open prematurely.
Oh no.
And at that point my dad explained to me that there are different flowers and some of them you can't pop open.
Right.
And that just piqued my curiosity.
Yeah.
And the other thing that they did was I'm going to say it was all the time. It absolutely wasn't all the time. Just how your memory is like, it does rose tinted glasses.
Yeah.
But on a fairly regular basis, we went for what would, if you were at school, it'd be called a nature walk.
Yeah.
But we went for walks, and I remember my dad.
Is this your family?
Yeah, my family. I remember my dad lifting me up to look inside a blackbird's nest and see the blackbird eggs.
Yeah.
And I remember him getting really excited that a bird had created a nest at the bottom of a huge tree. I suspect he'd made it higher. The bird had made it higher up and it had fallen out. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But, in the garden there were birds' nests and things. So he would show us that. And I remember them seeing minnows and sticklebacks and things like that in rivers, which, nowadays would be highly unlikely to happen. But I think that whole kind of that love of nature was instilled at a really early age. And it was more my curiosity for nature, my curiosity for wildlife and plants started at that age and just never really disappeared.
Yeah.
But I didn't have my own, I think my parents probably gave me like a small patch in the garden and said you can grow some things there if you want to.
Did they have a decent sized garden?
Well, no, it wasn't huge. It was, we lived in, at that point, when they gave me that, we lived in a new build, so 1960s, early 70s, late 60s, new build estate.
Okay.
So it was,
not
by modern standards, it was vast garden.
Yeah.
By standards then, it was just an average back garden.
Yeah.
And my mind will tell you it was huge, but the reality is, as a small person, you think of things as bigger than they are. So it probably wasn't that big.
But very fond memories then. Were your parents growing veg at home?
They grew tomatoes and they grew runner beans, and that's about it.
Right.
Okay.
They were actually really busy. My dad was a hospital doctor.
Right.
So he was
very
like
busy.
super busy.
Yeah.
And Mum didn't have an enormous interest in the garden. It was a place to sunbathe.
Yeah.
With a book, chillax.
Which I think's fair enough.
Somewhere to chillax.
So I didn't actually have my own first garden was when I was 21.
Right. Did you pursue anything horticultural wise education in terms of your education?
So I did. I started an RHS level 1 correspondence course when I was 21. That was I didn't finish it. I'm just going to say I didn't finish it.
Yeah.
It was a process where they sent you all the bump, you read all the books, and they asked you some questions, and you kind of wrote an essay. And I think there were other questions, like short answers, and you posted them in an envelope back to them. Oh, Sweet Pea, you're frowning. This is
this
correspondence course.
What is a post box? No, I'm joking. I'm just very interested. That's my interested face.
Long before internet and being able to just do stuff online, you could still do all that training remotely. But so it was literally done by the post. So it's just a very, very slow system.
Yeah.
Because you do the work, post it off, and then whoever was going to mark it would mark it and post it back to you, and then you could do the next bit. So it was a really
not much engagement.
Yeah, that sounds slightly tedious.
Yeah, that's a very dry way of doing it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Were you doing anything else at the time? Were you working?
I was doing small children. I was having
you were
children.
Producing the children.
Yes, so I was doing that while I was
I don't know what doing small children means.
Well, sorry, I was caring for.
Got you, okay.
I was being a parent. My job was with the children, doing parenting stuff.
Yeah. I see. So you did that course. Did it light enough of a fire when you did that?
Not only did it light enough of a fire, but one of the books that came with that, which is called The Vegetable Garden Displayed, I still use.
Oh, wow.
40 odd years later.
That's nice.
Some of the techniques in it, like double digging or any digging, I don't do.
No.
But the basics of how to grow are still there. Timings are different because it's now warmer.
Yeah.
Different climates as well, depending on where you
different
are.
climates, and the seasons have changed, but the principles of how to do stuff are still there.
Yeah.
That lit the fire for me for growing veg.
Fantastic.
And I used to go to bed with that book, the Dr. Hesse on books, the expert guide to.
Right. Okay.
The expert books.
Yeah.
And an RHS plant identification book. Right. And those are my bedtime reading.
Yeah.
Wow.
Over and over and over again. So they kind of were just in my head.
Yeah. And so were you creating a vegetable garden there?
No,
just reading it and absorbing it, ready?
Reading it and absorbing it, yes.
For one day.
Because
it was
wow, it's amazing. Gosh, you must have been absolutely chomping at the bit to get started on a garden.
Yes.
Can imagine.
Yes, I was.
And so on the show you said about how when you were working in 2015, was it the job that was very stressful?
No, it was just my body was not coping, and so it became very difficult. Yeah.
So what work was that you were doing?
So I was doing a marketing and PR role with a professional rugby club.
Gosh, so you still weren't, you did all this reading.
Yeah.
So you did a partial course, you did all the reading, had all the theory, and it was decades later before actually started.
Absolutely decades. So I had my own garden, I grew my own garden, but it was literally decades later.
Incredible.
Before I actually kind of went, okay. And I can remember talking to one of the members of staff at the rugby club and saying, do you know what I really want to do is have enough land and just grow all my own food.
Yeah.
And then it happened, just like that. Hurrah!
So your health
just like that.
Your health was the catalyst then.
Yes.
So it took that for you to go, hold on a tick, something needs to change.
Working.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Sliding doors moment.
So
yes.
Yeah, it is a sliding doors moment. So Sweet Pea was really keen on a lot of the plants that you had on that segment. Because there were some quite unusual things there. We liked the dwarf Jerusalem artichokes.
Yeah, they're really cool.
But you were also growing this kind of potato substitute, like a tuber, like a yacon?
Yeah.
A yacon, which I had never heard of. So you've got some quite unusual things there. Where are you coming across those? They're not all from those RHS books that you were reading.
No, absolutely not. So I now grow using permaculture principles.
Okay. Oh, right.
So, lots of permaculture is about permanent culture. Literally, that's how it comes from. So the perennial plants, perennial veg, things that I can, either plant and just carry on harvesting from, or plant, lift and replant. So, I mean, those are actually even better. The ones that you can just plant and harvest, superb. Ones that you've got to plant, lift, take some and replant are a bit more work. Basically, if I can find plants that give me minimum amount of work, they're my favourites.
Yeah.
Taste comes first, but really, really close second is how much work something is. Because I'm not going to say I'm lazy. I just don't want to do work unnecessarily.
Yeah, path of least resistance.
It's being efficient. That's what it is.
I was going to say I'm just lazy, but hey,
you and me both. If there's a lazy way of doing it, I'll find it for sure.
Yeah, and I mean the thing is that the lazy way of doing it is usually the way that's kind to nature. So
very true.
it's going to be the least soil
faffing.
disturbance, the least trompsing through the garden, the least pulling plants out. All of that is going to help the soil and it's going to help nature. So whilst I jokingly talk about it being the lazy way, actually it's probably the most environmentally kind way.
It does make sense.
Yeah.
I mean, I want to hear about some of those plants, but I feel we probably will be looking at them in your dream garden.
Absolutely.
So we can perhaps talk about them in a bit more detail then. So shall we have a look at your dream garden?
Absolutely,
Sweet Pea's our head gardener, and she's going to take you through it.
So Liz, for your dream garden, what would be the garden boundaries surrounding your garden?
Okay, so I've got to start by saying I'm really close to my dream garden here.
Oh no, that's no fun.
So no, it is really fun.
I'm sure it is.
It would be pig netting that's put on upside down.
Okay.
What do you mean by that?
Because pig netting gets the holes in between the wires get closer and closer nearer the bottom.
Wait, so what is pig netting?
So it's like stock fencing.
Okay.
It's wire fencing.
Yeah.
Okay. So it would be put on upside down, which means that the holes between the wires are going to be about 6 inches by 4 or maybe 6 by 6.
Right.
Thing. And then by the top, they'd be closer together down to just a couple of inches by 6.
And that's upside down to how you'd normally have it?
Yes. And I want it upside down because I want hedgehogs to be able to come through it.
Oh, sweet.
That's nice.
If you put ordinary netting up, you're going to exclude hedgehogs.
Yeah.
And so in my dream garden, it would be upside down. In my dream garden, there would be no bunnies.
So, so if you were putting that prohibitively expensive pig fencing up around your land, Horsefly Alley, that's how you would do it, is have it upside down?
No, I'd have it the right way up because that's stopping pigs.
So are you going to have to explain this to me like I'm a 5-year-old? Why do you need bigger holes at which way is that, the top?
So the more wires there are, the more expensive it is. Okay. So you don't need, so at the bottom, you're going to have, that's where piglets will be.
Right.
So you don't want a piglet to get out a big hole.
I see now.
But a pig's not going to get out of a bigger hole. Yeah. So I would I would have that netting upside down.
Right.
And then I would, because I want the hedgehogs. And then I would plant native edible plants, trees, and some ornamental shrubs.
All along it?
Yeah, all along it. So you wouldn't actually see the netting.
Right.
But the netting would be there to stop sheep and other larger animals getting in, but also it would act as a support for some of the things that I would want to grow in my hedging. So some of the climbing things I want to grow in my hedging.
Lovely.
Yes, very nice.
What are your boundaries like where you are?
They are pig netting, or so stock fencing.
Yeah.
With edible planting along them. So they are exactly this, yeah.
It's exactly
and even
this.
right on the perimeter of the 4.5 acres.
So around the perimeter, that netting would have been put up umpty years ago, decades ago.
Okay.
There's elder, but not very much elder. There's an awful lot of hazel. There's some ash. There's a vast number of brambles. They're very efficient. What else is there? I mean, kind of all the native hedging that you would expect. Hawthorn,
so you've got a mature hedging.
So it's really mature hedging around the outside, and I'm
nice.
actually starting to underplant it now.
Right.
Ready for when they die.
Yeah.
So the next lot will be coming up through.
And what's on the other side of your boundaries?
Well, there's farms in the opposite directions and a road. A road on one part, and then farms around the outside.
So you're pretty isolated.
Yes.
Fantastic.
I'm up a dead end road.
Oh,
it goes up to the top of the hill. It's a dead end.
Yeah. Where's your nearest neighbour?
On the other side of the road. So on the other, and it's a single track lane.
Yeah.
So close.
Pretty
That's
close.
Very nice.
Isolated, but not too.
So there's a little cluster of houses very close by. You can't. Well, you probably could shout to your neighbours. You wouldn't want to. I mean, you probably could shout in an emergency.
Yeah, well, that's useful, isn't
but
it?
But it's far enough. It's far enough away that we all have a bit of privacy. But it's close enough that it does feel like a community.
For safety as well. And would you be in Carmarthenshire in your dream garden?
Oh, probably not. Actually, I'd be somewhere drier.
Right.
Somewhere drier. Okay.
Where would that be?
Where is drier?
Slightly further east. Sort of anywhere east.
Is Monmouthshire east? So where you were before?
Yes.
Right. Yeah. Anywhere east.
Anywhere east of this kind of very wet.
The wet bit.
But, I mean, I moan about the rain, and I constantly moan about the rain, but it does bring with it a huge number of advantages.
It really does.
Summer,
and that's why it's so beautiful.
When everyone was saying, how dry it was, and everybody's lawns had turned to dust.
Not yours.
I'm thinking, we've got to keep cutting it because it's growing so fast and it's so lush. So yes, so it does have its advantages.
Yeah.
Do you have a view from your plot currently? Can you see rolling hills, or are you quite enclosed by the boundary?
No, we can. So from my plot, from the garden, we look out over the west end. The west end of Banai Brecon, the Brecon Beacons.
Wow.
Would you like a shed or a greenhouse?
Greenhouse every time.
Every time. Okay.
Greenhouse every time, because pretty much anything you can store in a shed, you can store in a greenhouse. But it's really hard to grow plants in a shed.
Yeah. You have a greenhouse.
Good point.
She does. Compelling. Do you have a greenhouse currently?
Yeah.
So I have a small greenhouse near the house, very close to my house, and I have a very large polytunnel.
They're said to be good.
So when Gardeners World filmed, they very carefully didn't show the polytunnel because it's like a hangar.
Yeah.
It's like an aircraft hangar out there.
But it's so productive at the same time.
They're not the most beautiful things, but they are incredibly useful, aren't they?
Substance over style.
I think the thing is, it took away from we filmed it so that because it is the size of a 10-rod allotment or 10-pole allotment, that veg garden, it becomes achievable and relatable. Yeah. If you start showing, and here are the other vast amount of space. It's not relatable, and you lose your audience.
Yes.
So I think they were very clever and very sensible not to show it.
Absolutely.
Very good
So
point.
your dream greenhouse, would it be where your plot is, your veg plot is, or would it still be by the house?
It would be even closer to the house if I could.
Yep.
So it's about, at the moment, from the house wall, it is about 8 feet from the house wall.
Okay.
I would, out of choice, I'd have it attached to the house.
Have it attached. Okay. Yeah. And what are you doing in your greenhouse?
So my greenhouse I use for raising all my seedlings.
Okay. Do you do everything from seed?
No. Did you hear those little? Shall I admit this or no? Absolutely not. So
no, I don't think anyone does properly.
So what I grow a huge amount from seed, and I grow a lot of everything that I grow.
Mm-hmm.
And then in the spring, I go to a seed swap.
Oh, great!
And a bit later after that, I go to a plant swap.
Right. Oh. So where are these seed and plant swaps happening?
So actually, they are all over the place. I mean, there are, if you search for your local area and look for seed swap, you will find them. So very local to me, we started a seed swap last year, and then we said, okay, well, once we've grown them, how about we do a plant swap? So then we take our seedlings, and I take all my extra seedlings of Brussels sprouts, and I come home with seedlings of something else.
Yeah.
So we literally know that we're going to grow too much to be able to bring other things back.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
I like that. And so nothing goes to waste, does it?
Yeah.
Nothing goes to waste. I'm part of a local gardening group, and we do talk in a WhatsApp chat about, has anybody got any spare this or any spare that? There's some things I'm really good at growing, other things I'm terrible at growing. So I know that I pretty much always have to ask somebody for, have they got any, all the cucurbits really, but has anybody got any spare cucumber plants, any courgette plants, any melon plants? Because I can grow them and then I neglect them.
Right.
So they grow really well, and then I just forget to water them or plant them out. So then I have to ask other people for them. So
I love that.
It's relatable.
Yeah. But I love that idea of a seed swap and a plant swap. A really, really great idea. And also because you're doing it locally, so it's plants that have adapted to the area. And
Yeah, it's not going to come and go, oh my God, what is this?
It's an ideal setup, isn't it?
Yeah. So we do the seed swap in the very beginning of March, last week in February. No, but it's always the first week in March. We've established that's when it's going to be. And then the plant swap is first or second week in June.
Right.
Okay, yeah.
Because here, I'm ready for the sharp intake of breath. Our last frost is mid-June.
We've heard that. Maybe it was Adam who told us.
Yep.
Oh my.
That's mind-blowing, isn't it? Yeah.
So, so we can do the swapping plants out at the beginning of June because they're still not going to go into the ground immediately anyway.
Yeah.
Crikey. That is painful.
So your dream greenhouse, what's it going to look like?
Oh, it's going to be very simple. it's not that I don't like, but I don't need anything fancy. So in our last place, I had one that was 8 foot by 10 foot. It had 2 opening windows and a louver window at one end and an opening door. It had permanent staging built down one side of it, and then I used anything and everything I could find to create extra shelving. And I also put in one seed bed rather than trays to actually create a seed bed, which I then had to kind of cover with netting because the cats also found it.
Oh no.
I mean, you've got that really fine soft soil.
That's awful, isn't it?
It's like
you're doomed.
It's like cat litter, or it warms up really quickly and they just lie on everything. I mean,
Our dog would probably do that as well.
Oh, well, she did do that. Do you remember? She'd lay on our new veg beds.
Oh my God.
They were all nice and soft.
Yes.
Yeah.
She just flattened herself on them. We were like, oh, okay.
She's a helpful member of the family. And do you have a potting up area in this dream greenhouse? So a little sort of bench?
What I do have probably is a bar stool.
Right.
So I can sit. I don't need a big fancy potting bench. I just need a small bit of staging on one side because actually we only take up, 2 foot sideways and a foot or so in front of us. We don't need very much space because as long as you're moving the trays constantly this way, you only need the size of a seed tray in front of you.
Yeah.
The rest of that can just have like seed trays on it growing.
But Liz, I hear you, but there's a difference between need and want. So,
oh my gosh, I really want that.
So the bar stool type thing, preferably not a stool, like a high. I want to say a high chair because it conjures up a child, a toddler at a table. But you can get chairs that are higher that you would normally sit at a bar. So it's got a bit of a backrest.
So we're saying a chair that is high, not a high chair.
A chair that is high, yes.
A chair that is high.
Chair. because that's absolutely blissful in terms of just being able to park your bottom a little bit, and then you can spend hours in your greenhouse doing pricking out or whatever it is you want to do, rather than that kind of bit where you have to just bend over a little bit and then your lower back starts hurting after a couple of hours.
Sure. And do you have the radio on when you're in there, or are you just mindful in the moment?
I am a work in silence person.
Right. So we're not going to persuade you to put this podcast on.
I would listen to it intentionally when I'm cooking.
Great.
Yes.
But when I'm outside and doing anything to do with gardening, all I want to hear is birds.
Yeah,
I understand.
I want to hear birds. I want
absolutely.
to be able to hear moles moving underground. A couple of years ago, I made kind of the intentional decision to start planting for our senses, but mostly start planting for sound.
Right. Interesting.
Because there was a sound in the garden I would hear, and then I wouldn't hear it, and I kind of missed it. And what it was the rustling, the papery rustling of leaves of sweet corn.
Oh, right.
They make the most incredible noises. So like any large grass, like a really big leaf bamboo or something. Yeah. But you can just hear it. And I kind of went, well, this is it. I'm now going to be planting plants that will make, and once you notice like the sound of the wind through a silver birch tree, for example, and the noise that the leaves make.
Yeah,
I love those.
And so more and more I kind of go, I like that. What do the leaves do?
Yeah.
So that, it's just another dimension. It's just adding another sensory dimension into our everyday gardens.
So
I think
important.
We were actually saying the other day that we wanted to keep all of these brown leaves because obviously it's autumn time, all the leaves are falling. We have this one patch where 3 trees together and there are so many leaves on the floor, and usually you'd get them off the lawn because you don't want them or it looks messy. And we just love the sound that it makes when you walk past it, or when the dog kind of charges through.
Skedaddles through it.
It's a certain sense.
And
you feel.
Yeah, I don't understand why people do that immediate, quick, get the leaves off. A, you're creating a load of work for yourself. B, they're going to return nutrients to the soil.
Yeah.
And C, they just sound good, and they smell great as well.
Yeah.
They do smell great.
There is that sort of really lovely smell of fallen leaves.
Absolutely gorgeous. When I was growing up, we had a Newfoundland dog, and we had a horse chestnut tree that dumped a huge amount of leaves on our really quite small patch of grass. So that did all get raked up. And I enjoyed that awesome job of raking into a huge pile. And Barnaby, our Newfie, just would run at this pile and throw himself into the middle of it and let them tumble over him, and then he'd just stick his little tip of his black nose out, and he would lie there for I don't know if it was hours, but for a very long time, just loving life in those leaves.
Yes. One thing I did want to ask you, Liz, was about your wood chip paths, because we used to have wood chip in the vegetable patch area.
Yeah.
And then I found that it was first of all really hard to weed, and second of all, it was mulching down far too quickly. So we had to put gravel down, because otherwise then it was just kind of becoming a bed almost in itself. Of just weeds. But
beautiful mulch for the weeds.
Yeah, beautiful mulch for the weeds.
So hoeing is a really good way of doing that.
Right.
Hoe when they're small. Hoe the path when it's small, and leave what you've hoed on the wood chips.
Okay.
And it will break down. And in a couple of years' time, you have the most beautiful mulch to scoop up and put in the bed, on each side, and put down fresh wood chips. I basically have all those pathways are all compost based.
Do they have membrane underneath the wood chip?
Yeah.
So I use a non-plastic membrane.
All right.
So there's one made out of cornstarch.
Yeah.
It's a heavy duty cornstarch. You can get a lightweight cornstarch, which is almost like cling film type thing. Not that.
Yeah.
This is a heavyweight cornstarch that feels like an extra thick paper, but it's not as thick as cardboard. Anyway, It doesn't even start breaking down for 3 years, according to the manufacturers. Well, I've had it down underneath beds for nearly 5 years now. and I am punching holes in it to allow the worms to come through because it still hasn't started breaking down.
Okay.
Wowzers.
So it's and it's plastic free. It's made from cornstarch, and it's. Do you think I've sung its praises enough now?
It sounds fantastic. And how is it on the pocket?
Yeah,
quite pricey.
It is quite pricey.
But it's lasting a long time, isn't it?
But it's lasting a long time.
Then it's good money.
What price of plastic free?
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I kind of go, how much time is it saving me?
Yeah.
In terms of being out there weeding.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like any membrane, because it's not letting worms go up and through it. It has its limitations.
Yeah.
So whatever you put on top of it creates a lovely compost, but hasn't got the same microbiome as if you were using cardboard.
What would be 5 ornamentals for your dream garden?
So I'm cheating a little bit because I'm going to say these are 5 ornamentals for autumn, because actually I cannot do just 5 ornamentals. My brain does not work like that.
No, fair enough. So this is an autumnal garden.
Nice. And you're going to have to excuse me if I butcher the Latin names.
Oh, don't worry, they're very difficult.
Okay, so Symphyotrichum Nova Belgii, which you and I will know as asters.
Okay.
And the variety is Marie Ballard. So they all changed their names. They got reclassified recently.
Yes, they did. It's so difficult when they do that, and you're just like, oh, well, that's not very fair.
Particularly because asters is a really easy name.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the ones that are really easy. Other ones I am learning, but but
so
when it's Symphyotrichum or asters, I'm going to stick with asters.
Let's go with asters.
So Marie Ballard is mid purple. It's very fully double. It's almost like a frothy flower.
Mm-hmm.
It's about 1 metre to 120 high.
Shish kebabs, that's cool.
She does fall over.
I was going to ask you,
it's one of those ones, or it just lies on the ground, and I go, oh, that's pretty.
Step over it.
Down there.
So last week, I took a photograph of me standing with it last week, and I picked a load of it up and I propped it in my legs, and I got my husband to take a photo. I said, quick, before they all fall down again. So I'm standing there with a big smile on my face, and these flowers all in front of me, thinking, oh, the slugs are all just crawling on my trousers now, and these are about to fall over again. But they are so beautiful. They are so pretty. So
nice
those.
Choice.
Do you have those in amongst your veg?
So no, those are in the food forest. So I've got those in amongst fruits.
Okay.
Fruit forest, did you say?
So it's a food forest.
A food forest.
Yes, I've heard of these.
So,
what's your food forest?
So a food forest, the idea is that if you think about a woodland or a forest, it has very tall trees and then slightly lower trees and then a layer of shrubs and then herbaceous perennials. Okay. It has climbers and it has rooted plants.
Yeah.
So there's like these 7 layers. And it's replicating. I mean, I haven't got the largest one because I don't want to do enormous oak trees or beech trees or anything. So I start with the shorter, large, tall trees, the shorter of the tall trees.
Yeah.
And it's replicating all of that, all those layers, but intentionally planting edible plants or plants that are going to support wildlife and pollinators to get them to come in. So that you can wander through an area. It's very, very productive. It's mimicking nature. So, all those leaves fall down, they're feeding the soil, they're creating habitat for wildlife, and it's in some ways it's a minimum interference area. So
that's always a good thing.
Yeah. So you're going to encourage weeds because you want masses of ground cover.
Yes. Not a patch of bare soil.
You don't want bare soil, and so I've planted fruit trees. I've also created a standard orchard as an experiment.
How big an area is this covering?
So my food forage it's 0.55 of an acre, so just over half an acre.
Okey-dokes.
And the same number is a similar number of trees of like about half of that. So a quarter of an acre of the food forest I'm going to compare with my quarter acre orchard. And in a few years' time, we'll see which one is more fruitful.
Oh,
I can tell you this year, in my orchard, there was 0 fruit.
Ooh.
And in the food forest, there was a significant amount of fruit.
Right.
Okay.
So I know where the squirrels are going.
Yeah.
Yes.
Location-wise, are they adjacent?
Next to each other. Yeah,
Right.
absolutely next to each other.
Wow, what a great experiment to be doing.
I like those experiments.
Yeah. So, well, I do like to, I call them my highly unscientific experiments.
Yeah, well,
you know, if they're not
works. That's what they say.
I don't expect anyone to say, when people sort of say, "Are you sure?" And it's like, well, it's my experience. It's like, I like these sort of unscientific things. So, in amongst that food forest, and in the last home, it was all higgledy-piggledy, and everything was planted next to each other. And you had to squeeze through to get to things. This time, I went, do you know what? I'm not doing that squeezing through, because however lovely it looks, it's actually quite dangerous to have roses arching over a pathway. I got cut just under my eye a couple of times by a rose whipping around in the wind. And I went, no, I'm going to be a bit more organised this time. So I've created beds that are wider, and they're also linear. So there's just like these lines of beds. Looks very like silver pasture, if you're familiar with that, or any agroforestry. Idea. So it's got a straight line with lots of stuff growing underneath it. So there's all these fruit trees, and then I've got fruiting shrubs. And then tons and tons of ornamentals, because ornamentals are kind of my first love. They're the thing that makes my soul sing.
Yeah.
Oh,
so, great. I love growing food. I do love growing food. So in terms of actually growing, that's probably the thing I love.
Right.
But actually, I need those flowers to make my soul go.
Something pretty.
So anyway, so they're in there.
Are we able to see this kind of thing on your YouTube channel?
Yes.
Great.
Yes, absolutely. So I do a tour of the veg garden. Then I do a tour of the food forest.
Brilliant.
But because it's a big area, and I go through everything in every bed, make a cup of tea and have a thermos flask, because they can be like nearly an hour long videos. Because I'm literally going through. So the last one I did, I compared what it looked like the first tour I did in February 2016. So when I was just starting. Not 2016. I'm lying. When we moved here, 2022. Sorry. So comparing 2022 with now. So it was like a 4.5 year difference, but it was a difference between, and we put in this plant and it was about 12 inches high, and then I'm standing there next to it and it's above my head height.
Yeah. Fantastic.
And I just flick between the two lots of videos so you can see the changes really clearly.
Brilliant. We'll have to have a look at that. We'll put some links to it as well on our website.
Oh, thank you.
Absolutely.
So, shall I tell you the next one?
Yes, please.
Yes,
so, I'm so terrible, I'll just wander off.
Yeah, I'm bad. Well, Sweet Pea's good at policing us.
So the next one is Hellenian September Fuchs, which is tall. It's sort of 120 to 150, maybe even 160 centimetres tall. Very dark, rich red, huge daisy-like flowers with a big sort of, not quite a cone in the middle, but a ball of dark flower in the middle, and then the petals coming off that in a sort of usually in a single row, but definitely browns and oranges with a little bit of yellow. So very autumnal colours.
I like that, yes.
And if you grow it in a big fat clump, it just looks absolutely amazing.
Self-supporting.
Okay, so the last time I saw it in a big fat clump,
were you stepping over?
No,
it
they
as well?
had support.
Okay.
And I've only bought small plants of it this year.
Yeah. Okay.
I saw it at Llysdinham Gardens, which is a private garden in Mid Wales, but you can ask their head gardener if you can go and visit, and they also do open days for charity.
Oh, okay.
And so I went to one there last week in August, first week in September. I was blown away by the displays of autumn flowers.
Oh, lovely. Nice choice.
Next one is a Nerine Bowdenii, which is a bulb.
Interesting.
So it's a pink flowered one. It's one of the few absolutely amazing autumn bulbs. So it sends up a single stem. Are you familiar with amaryllis?
Yes.
Okay, so now think small.
Okay.
So now think knee high.
Yeah.
Okay. Much, much thinner stem, but that same sort of a flower.
Right.
Same vibes.
Pink. Yeah, same vibes, much smaller, much more delicate, much more elegant.
Right. Okay. Where do you grow that?
So I don't have it I saw that at Aberglasney Gardens. They've got a big clump of it there. I mean, lots of people have it.
Mm-hmm.
I would probably need to grow it in a container to raise it up out of our somewhat clay, wet, moist.
So it doesn't like the wet.
Okay, good.
And when you've seen it, it's been a big patch of it.
So it's quite, so what I've seen is sort of groups of about 15 stems.
Okay.
Which is I don't know whether it prefers moist or not. All I just know is there is a risk in our garden for any bulb to rot.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
Because we have standing.
Yeah,
of course.
Well, we sort of have
even on the
water.
hill.
Yes.
It's not all just draining.
We have
to the
clay
bottom.
and peat.
I can't get
together.
That.
So all the things that kind of absorb masses of moisture or dry out completely.
It's just all there.
It's all here.
What's the common name for that bulb?
Nerine. It is absolutely
nerine.
It is absolutely nerine. Yeah.
So would you grow that sort of naturalised amongst grass, or have you seen it mostly in beds?
No, in beds, because it's going to grow at a time of year when you're going to want to be cutting grass.
Right.
Okay.
Sure.
And to be honest, it's too showy. In my opinion, it's too showy to have growing in grass.
Yeah.
I don't like tulips growing in grass either. So,
we do a lot.
We're going to have to agree to disagree. Next ornamental. Let's get on quickly before.
I don't like grass. So, it's like, to me, grass is what you put an animal on.
Right.
I would have no, maybe a bit of a contentious thing, but I would choose to have no lawn.
Yeah.
We had no lawn at our last place, and the only reason we have lawn here is because who wants 4.5 acres of path?
Well, so we have what used to be a field, a farmer's field on a hill, and so you couldn't call it lawn, but it's something I know. But bit by bit, we're building it all into meadow with just some paths through it. And so that's the intention, is to do away completely with the, in inverted commas, lawn part, which is a shame because I do really enjoy mowing it because it is on a hill. So it's a really good workout, much more preferable to going to the gym. But you feel so good afterwards. You feel like you've been on the machines at a gym for 2 hours. So I was saying that to Sweet, wasn't I? I was saying, I got this meadow thing that I'm doing, but... how am I going to get my mowing fix?
And I just said, create shapes in the meadow.
You're going to scythe like mad at the right time of year.
You're absolutely right.
Yes,
and that will give you an excellent workout and a very good waste.
And a very good meadow.
Yes, and a good meadow as well.
So next flower is, and because to me, no list of plants should be without a rose.
Right, yep.
Okay.
So... a rose, and I would say any replete flowering rose, but especially I'm going to give a mention to Desdemona, which I have growing as a standard rose.
Right, what's that like?
So Desdemona is not quite white. You wouldn't really call it cream. So it's magnolia colour.
Yeah.
So you're like a tin of like you have in a tin of paint.
Oh, see, I was thinking of the magnolia flower. But
No. Well, yes, I mean it's that. It's not white. It's off white. It's creamy white. The buds got a slightly pink.
Oh, pretty.
Slightest pink blush to them.
Scented.
Very highly scented. It's a David Austin rose. I don't know. Maybe it is or maybe it isn't. But they sell them at David Austin. That's where I got them from. So I'm going to think it's a David Austin
In
rose.
your garden, you have this rose arch sort of walkway almost, and you're growing beans up it until your roses had fully developed. Is it now covered in roses?
No, well, they're coming. It's year 3.
Right.
I don't think that those are going to get. I don't think it's going to get covered until. Well, partly until I put in some ramblers.
Yeah.
Oh, of course,
because climber roses you cut back every year. So
okay.
But so standard roses are one of those funny things that my parents had standard roses, and I just thought they were like super old-fashioned. I thought they were so frumpy.
Yes. I can understand that with certain ones, but I am a rose lover, so I do like a huge amount.
I think the other thing is I think things go in cycles.
Yeah.
And they go, there was a time when no one grew dahlias.
I was just going to say,
now the
dahlias,
idea of having a garden without dahlias, it doesn't make sense, does it?
Yeah.
And I think standard roses became a bit of an old people thing.
Yeah.
It
is. I think it's a fashion thing, isn't it?
It is such a fashion thing.
But they've They're back in fashion very much.
They are back in fashion. And so a couple of years ago, I can't remember whether it was last year or the year before. Maybe it was the year. So not this January, but the one before.
Okay.
Mr. J said, what would I like for my birthday? I said, well, I'd really like a couple of roses, standard roses. And he said, oh, yes, I'd like to do that. And I said, if I gave you some money, would you buy 4? And he said, oh, no, I'll just get 4. Yes, that worked.
Results.
Score.
Absolute score there. So for my birthday, I got 4 standard Desdemona roses.
Oh, and they were Desdemona. Brilliant.
Yeah, so that's what I have planted in my vegetable garden. And the sad bit is when BBC came to film, so this tells me when it was. I think I hadn't got them at that point. I think I got them the January afterwards. So.
Okay.
What time of year were Gardener's World with you?
They filmed on September the 1st and they put it out the middle of August the year after.
Crikey.
Right.
So it was, they put it out at the right time of year.
Yeah.
But it was a year later.
I see.
Ooh, okie dokie.
So.
Well then, last one.
Oh, right. So we've done tall things and we've done bulbs and all those. So I thought I would look at something small. So a cyclamen hedrofolia.
Lovely.
At this time of year.
Cyclamen are just charming, aren't they?
They are, and they remind me of my dad. So much of my garden is this person gave me this plant, this person gave
that's
me a
always
cutting.
lovely.
This plant reminds me of someone, and cyclamen were pretty much my dad's favourite flowers.
Oh, the real meaning to them then.
They have got real meaning. So the ones in my garden right now, there was a patch of het cyclamen just outside the kitchen window at my parents' house.
Mm.
And when my parents passed away and we sold the house, about, I don't know, maybe 3 years later, I got an email from someone saying, hello, I was just looking up permaculture on YouTube. And there you were. My name is Lucy. I bought your parents' house.
Oh.
And she said, could you come and visit and do a day of volunteering, which she did. And we've become friends. And when she first came, I said, is there any chance you could bring me a few plants from Mum and Dad's garden? And some of the ones she bought me were plants that I had given my parents like 30 years beforehand.
Oh my gosh, this is the sweetest story ever.
And then she brought bits of them back to me, which I've put in my garden, and I brought with me from my last garden to this garden. So the cyclamen are the relatives of the generations later.
How fantastic.
The cyclamen that were outside Mum and Dad's kitchen garden, kitchen window.
Wow,
Liz, such a lovely thing to have.
It is really special. It is really special.
Really
Don't
special.
cry. It's lovely.
She's just very emotional.
I'm perimenopausal, so everything just sets me off. I cry on just about all of these, by the way. A nice story comes up like that.
So there we go. Cyclamen
That's
hedrofolia.
beautiful. How lovely.
Well, then, what would be 5 edible plants?
Okay, so this changes every single week. And my most favourite vegetable is the one that is just about to be harvested. Because I probably haven't eaten it for 10 months.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
So things like purple sprouting broccoli, which isn't on my list, by the way, but something like that. Okay. I look forward to it because we haven't had it for so long, and I don't freeze it because I don't think it freezes nicely.
No, it's quite nice
to have
fresh.
First lot of purple sprouting broccoli is absolutely amazing.
Yes.
6 weeks later, I never want to see it again.
So relatable.
So fed up with it.
Precisely what happened to me
and then
this year.
10 months later, it's like, purple sprouting broccoli is better. So it's always what's about to come in. But
I find the seasons are like that. Summer, after a hot summer, I'm ready for it to be cooler, and then after a cold winter, I'm ready for it to be hotter.
Yeah,
so it's very similar.
So
nice
my five edibles in my ideal garden would be cabbage. I'm cheating because I'm going to have 2 types: a red acre, which is a red cabbage and a very tight head, and a Savoy cabbage, and the variety is Virtus.
Right.
Virtus, okay.
I've grown several other different types of Savoy, but that is by far the tastiest to me.
Okay.
Butternut squash, a variety called Waltham.
Such a versatile veg.
Yes. Now here, you almost can't grow them outside. They have to be grown in a polytunnel.
Really?
It's just too cold.
For butternut, gosh. So you're growing those in your polytunnel. Are you doing them? So so you've got beds in there. So you're doing them on the ground.
I've got beds, and then I put up like that cargo netting of jute string.
Right.
Yes.
And I grow them up that. So I rather than letting them grow over the ground, they have to grow upwards because of the space.
Are you doing anything special with the soil for your butternut?
No.
Do you get a good hoard?
Yes, I do. So I planted, last year I did 8 plants and I got about 27, 28.
Whoa!
Not huge, small-ish butternut squashes, but in our family of 2, there is only one person who likes a squash.
Oh, well, that's very...
Is that Mr. J or
me? I like squash, so he eats it reluctantly. So there's no point in having like masses of big squashes. So smaller squashes actually suits me really well. Big squashes appeals to my look what I grew factor. But,
of course.
Realistically, these butternut squash in my ideal fantasy garden are going to be just big enough for 2 people.
Well, what are your other 3 edible plants?
Okay, so an apple and a variety called Guthrie Ire. It's a Welsh variety that was actually first found reasonably close to where we live, and they're cooking apples, and they're one of those apples a bit like Brumley seedling, that when you cook them and they kind of go fluffy, fluff. They're absolutely delicious.
Oh, lovely.
I haven't heard of that. We'll be Googling it afterwards.
Welsh bunching onions, which are perennial onion.
Yes. You had those on the show. You just let the seeds drop.
You don't even need to do that. I do let the seeds drop, but that's just about being lazy. But when you harvest them, I don't harvest the bulb.
No, you were just taking the stems.
Just the leaves, which are so strong. They're as strong as an onion.
Yeah.
Whoa. They're as strong as an onion bulb. So you just cut the leaves, and then literally all I think I said in Gardener's World is I just chop the leaves, throw them into a bag and put them in the freezer. And then when I want to use them, you just put your hand in the bag, take a few out and put them straight into cooking. You don't need to defrost them because the heat from the cooking is going to defrost them.
And these are perennial?
And they're perennials.
Yeah.
I grew them from seed. I sowed the first lot. I sowed the seeds in October 2021 and I was harvesting by April 2021.
Oh, we need to get some of those, sweet pea.
And so those plants that are out there now are the same ones that I sowed back then.
Have you ever heard of Mandy from Incredible Vegetables?
Absolutely. Been down there and visited and raced around the polytunnel going, what's this? What's this? Where do I get that?
Amazing.
What's this? Can I have one of those?
Well, Mandy was great. She came on a Chit-Chat many episodes ago.
Many moons ago.
I'm so up for perennial veg. I think it's the way forward for sure.
My last edible in my ideal garden is raspberry autumn bliss.
Lovely choice.
I love autumn bliss. Birds don't attack it.
That's always good.
It produces fruit from even midsummer all the way through to the frosts.
Nice plant.
What is not to love?
What's one statement tree that you must have in your dream garden?
This was really hard. There are lots of trees that are like, oh wow, that's amazing. But actually the one that I really wouldn't want to be out without is Acer Negundo Flamingo.
Oh my gosh.
It's got a really dramatic pink flush on the leaf. So the leaf is green and cream variegated with a pink flush on it.
Beautiful. And you have one of those?
I have got one of those.
Does it get to a decent size?
Yeah.
Well, it will do, yes. So eventually it's going to get somewhere between 6 and 12 metres high.
Right.
Depending on where you are. And sort of 5 to 8 metres across.
Right.
Eventually.
Maples like it sheltered, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
Is it? And it's all right with the wind that you have?
Well, yeah, but here it's never going to get huge.
No.
Well, it might do, but, not while I'm alive, it's not going to get huge.
Beautiful tree, though. I'm
very nice.
Really into maples. They're gorgeous trees.
Yeah. Very nice choice.
Thank you.
Would you like a pond or a pool, and what plant would you have next to it or in it?
So, a pond, without a doubt, any size. So here we have 3 ponds. One is about 3 foot by 3 foot, also maybe 3 foot by 2. And then the largest one is about 25 feet across.
Wow,
So
did you dig those?
Across. Well, I dug the small one.
And that's as far as it went.
And the big one was already there, was it?
No. We had them put in with a man with an excavator.
Right.
You know, they are vast. So no, they're not vast. They're big.
They're just big, nice.
And one of them is a bit like a dew pond in many ways, that it fills up with water. It hasn't got a liner in it. It just fills up. There's enough clay in the soil to keep the water in there. But when it starts warming up in spring, like just at the point that the tadpoles are no longer frog spawn, they are tadpoles, but they haven't got legs yet. That's about the point the water starts drying up.
Right.
And we rush out.
Oh, you can scoop them all up?
We rush out, scoop them up and move them to the little tiny pond, which is right by the garden, so that the frogs will then eat the slugs in the garden.
That's perfect cycle of life.
So your dream pond would be 25 metre in size, or 3 foot by 2 foot?
It would be the smaller one. Yeah,
you'd have that smallest one would be your dream pond.
Yes.
Why is that?
Because it does everything that the big one does. You know, I don't think bigger is necessarily better.
Okay.
If it does everything that you need it to do, if it's providing life, if it's providing a home for the wildlife, then it doesn't need to be bigger. The bigger it is, the more obvious it is to herons and egrets, in which case all they're going to do is come down and eat anything in them.
Right.
That's a good point. I didn't think about that.
The bigger it is, we had one of them dug as a duck pond.
Yeah.
Nothing survives in a duck pond.
No.
They eat frogs without batting an eyelid.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
We no longer have the ducks, but
got the frogs
because they're inside the fox.
Oh gosh.
I mean, that is just okay.
How deep is the 25 metre pond? Did you say 25 metres or 25 foot?
25 feet.
Oh, 25 feet. Okay. Yeah. How deep did you dig?
Well, it's on a hillside. So at one side it's kind of
very
an inch, and on the other side it got to about 5 to 6 feet.
Okay.
And it's literally made up from the soil that's kind of just scooped out of it. And I said, just ask them to scoop it out and pile it on the side. And not smooth it down and make it look all lovely, for it to be kind of craggy and messy, so that it had, it was more natural.
Cool.
Yeah.
Natural, she says, having just had a digger in to dig it. But
very
nobody needs
natural
to know.
Vibes going on.
And is that with a liner then?
Well, it was with the liner, but the ducks have really, really sharp talons, claws, so they made very short shrift of that.
Oh, no.
So with clay now?
So, well, it's more like a bog garden now than a pond.
Oh, that's nice.
And when we have really heavy rain, it fills up.
Yeah.
But then it drains through quite quickly.
Right.
So.
Okay. Well, that's still lovely. And what plant would you choose to have in it or by the side of it?
Okay, so I'm going to assume we're allowed oxygenating plants without having that to be our plant. So we're just going to ignore that.
Okay.
My pond is coming with oxygenating plant. So for one that flowers in the autumn, Actea simplex brunette, which used to be called submissifuge.
Oh, neither of those names mean anything to me. What are they like?
So it's got purple, almost browny purple leaves that are highly. Wow. If I said they're almost palmatum, but they're not.
Yeah,
they're sort of in that direction.
Okay.
And then it has like a tall flower stem that comes up to about 150 centimetres. So 5 feet. Face height, unless you're very tall, sweet pea. But that's sort of height, and it has little purple buds all up the stem, but they open to white flowers with like a little hint of pink in them.
Gosh, that sounds
and they're almost fluffy.
Stunning.
They're almost fluffy. It is really stunning. So there's each flower is tiny, but then you've got almost like a bottle brush.
Yeah.
Oh well, that's.
And when does it flower?
Yeah.
Now.
Oh, of course, because you're doing an autumn garden.
Okay.
Does it stand in the pond, or is it on the periphery?
It's going to be on the edge, so it really quite likes. It's very happy to be in the margins, but not actually in the water, but on the edge, so like bog garden type thing.
What would be your favourite seating area, drink to have there, or sitting down and chillaxing, and a plant to have by your side?
Okay, so my seating would be an old weather-worn wooden bench possibly one of those ones that you sit on and think, oh, is this safe? Slightly wobbly, slightly giving way, because I like the idea that it has been sat on by people for a long time.
Yeah.
And people have spent time there for a long time.
Okay.
And it's like there for sharing with a loved one.
Will you have cushions on it, or just neat?
Oh no, absolutely not. Just
neat
bottoms on wood.
Yeah,
bottom on wood.
Clothed
nice.
bottoms.
Clothed butts,
of course.
on wood. Got it. Yeah.
We're not going to be mooning.
Let's just no. Let's just
don't have to explain yourself to
us. Clothed bottoms on wood. With a cup of tea for me, or a glass of homemade wine for somebody else.
And what tea would you have? Herbal or an Earl Grey or a breakfast?
English breakfast? It's going to be like a breakfast. But
a builder's tea.
Fancies that. I'm not going to use a brand, but
no, good old builder's tea.
Yeah, just builder's tea.
Milk.
So with a bit of milk, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Is that in a mug or a little teacup?
Mug. A mug in the garden. Yeah, no,
hefty mug.
A big hefty mug in the garden. Sometimes like a thermos mug as well.
Yes.
And then for my plants to go around the bench, Thymus serpylum albus. So that is a creeping thyme with a white flower. It grows to absolutely maximum when it's in full flower, about 4 centimetres high.
Lovely.
Creeps along the ground. So not as low as Corsican mint, but it means that you can walk on it, and every time you go to the bench, it's going to release that fragrance.
And it just
if you're sitting there, it's going to be under your feet.
Yes.
And you're going to release that fragrance. So you're just going to have that sort of it's going to attract lots of bees and bugs and things in the summer when it's in flower, but it's just going to smell great all year round.
Yeah, I really like that. We've often mentioned this on the podcast that I would love to have a lot of our paths to be creeping thyme. We just aren't having success with trying to grow it from seed. No. Do you have it in your garden?
I do.
Have you done it from plug plants?
I did it from plug plants that I bought on a very well-known auction site.
Ooh. Right, okay.
eBay. That's the one. I thought I covered that pretty well with the well-known auctions.
We're not affiliated with any non-advertising.
So I bought them on there, and they just, they've grown like mad. And I actually bought a multi-pack. I think I can't remember if I bought 6 or 12 or 9, but they were all different varieties of thyme.
Oh, well, that's nice.
Beautiful. And have they all done well?
They've all done well. They've all done almost too well.
Oh.
Yeah, no, it is possible because they're kind of now crowding out the beds that actually want to grow other things in.
So you put them in beds rather than on paths or instead of grass?
But they are now on the paths.
Oh, great.
We'll have a bit of path as well, yes.
This is what I want.
You know when you use that expanding foam in the wall,
yes.
hole in the wall, and it suddenly goes everywhere. It's like that. It just goes out.
Wow.
You look and you go, where did all that come from?
Why? Since when?
Right. Sweet Pete, we're going to get on a well-known auction site and we're going to get a load of those plug plants.
Okay, we're going to go to that website. Well, I'm going to read back the Dream Garden, hopefully getting the plant names right, just in case you want to change anything. So, garden boundary, we were going to go anywhere as far east as possible, or we were just going to try and bring a little bit of dry over to where you are, because that would be quite nice. Pig netting put upside down for the hedgehogs. No bunnies in capital letters. But also the pig netting was for support, and then you wanted edible shrubs, trees, ornamentals around so you couldn't see the fencing. Then your greenhouse, nice and close to the house / attached to the house. Yes. 8 foot by 10 foot, 2 opening windows, permanent staging, shelves, a little seed bed, and a nice chair that is high to sit on. Then your 5 ornamentals, we had Aster Mary Ballard, Helenium September Fuchs, Nerine Baldenii, Repeat Flowering Rose the Desdemona, and Cyclamen Hedrofolia. Then your 5 edibles, we had cabbage, the Red Acre and Savoy Virtus, butternut Waltham, and just big enough for 2 people. Wanted it like that. Apple, how do you say this again? Gathliaya. Then Welsh bunching onions, raspberry autumn bliss as well. Your 1 tree was an Acer crikey, lots of different names in here. Acer Nagundo Flamingo.
Yep.
Then you wanted a pond any size, but you did like your little 3-foot pond with oxygenators coming in it already. And then your plant was an Actaea simplex brunette on the edge in the margins. And then your final seating area was an old weathered bench, worn and wooden, slightly wobbly and giving way, a cup of builder's tea and a hefty mug/thermos, maybe some homemade wine for guests, and then creeping thyme with the white flowers around you.
Absolutely. Sounds perfect.
Doesn't that sound
blissful? Really does. Well, thank you very much,
You're
Liz.
welcome. Thank you for inviting me.
An absolute pleasure. That's been a good old chit-chat with Liz.